Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do a different type of video. It's going to be a choose your own adventure. We'll put tabs or chapters in the video so that you can decide which route you want to take to start your seeds for 2025. All right, for the paper towel method, you'll need a basin of some kind. You can also use a cookie sheet, like I did. This is just you get sandwich ham and stuff like that. I just kept the plastic. It comes with a lid. It works perfect. I'm going to make sure that my paper towel rolls or my toilet paper rolls are cut to the side so that they don't go above the edge of the tray. I'm going to do my bell peppers in here. The bell peppers I have are California Wonder, Grand Bell Mix, and Orange Sun. I'm going to put on the side that they're bell peppers. And if you'd like to track your information and how things are progressing, you can put the date. And today is March 4th. So it's 3, 4. Let me see. I'm going to try and see so they don't move around so much because I don't really want them to slide around. I'm try and see if I can squeeze a couple more in here. Okay, I like that a lot better so they're not shifting around. So that's good. So that's 9 total. We're going to get our pre-moistened soil. You could probably just do it directly into the plastic container if you'd like, but this way the roots and stuff stay separated and it'll be easier when transplanting in a few weeks. All right, for the California Wonder, all of my peppers have to be about 1/4 inch underneath the soil. It does not say anything that it needs light to germinate, so that's what we're going to do. And for the California Wonder, it is 75 days into maturity, so that's going to go in my first cell. Next will be the Grand Bell Mix. We're going to do the same thing. And then the last one is going to be the Orange Sun. Once you're done with filling up your seeds, I'm going to give it a nice spritz. Let me see. That's why it's a good idea to also have it pre-moistened because you don't want to saturate it every time you do this stage. Once you get to this point, you just definitely want to make sure that the surface of them are staying nice and moist. I did the plastic container that I recycled from like sandwich meat, and I'm going to use this lid as my humidity dome. All right, guys, so this is the low range type of growing system that I am participating in. I am going to put this with just natural lighting. It doesn't have to go on any kind of tray or table. It can just be on a windowsill if you have that, and it's going to be all natural lighting. This would be the cheapest option for you to participate in if you didn't really want to spend anything on a heat mat or a light or anything like that. So I'm just going to keep that lid. I do need to make sure that I lift the lid up every once in a while to let the air flow out of it and so that it doesn't get too much moisture and too warm in there. I do keep my house about 68, 62 degrees right now, and I think it'll work out great. All right, the next one is going to be your recycled tray that you may have gotten from buying plants from a previous year. For this instance, I got this at Lowe's when I bought pansies. It was $3.98 for a set of 8. So I have 8 cells in here that I can fill up and I can reuse this multiple times. You can also purchase the automatic trays that they have at like Lowe's or Home Depot. They usually come in a set of like an even number, which is like 16 or 24 or 12. You can certainly buy those. Some of them are very flimsy, so just be careful because they're usually one and done. However, these I have found to be a little bit sturdier. They do not come with a dome, so you do have to find some sort of replacement, whether that's cling wrap or a plastic container like I just did for the previous one. For the paper towel roll, you can use like your any kind of device that you want to use, and it does need a basin as well. which I'm using again a recycled food container from where I ate out at once. It does come with a lid. However, this is kind of taller, but that is okay. When they first start out, they don't need to be completely closed or flush. This opening and the holes actually makes it perfect because it can vent off some of that humidity if it gets too warm. This is not something you want to do on your cool season plants, but your warm season seeds will be a perfect idea just because they like to be a little bit warmer in order to germinate quickly. Again, you want your soil to be pre-moistened, cause your soil to depress too far down. Because like right now, it looks like it's good to go. Looks like it's filled up. But if I bang it to get all that air out, it's a lot lower than what we think. And I also don't like it to be too close to the edge because I've noticed in the past that when I filled it completely up and I go to water it, my seeds decide to travel between the cells. I'm going to be doing 3 different types of peppers. There's going to be 2 hots and a sweet. The hot peppers are jalapeno. It's a mild type of pepper. A cascabella. It kind of looks like a bell because it has different colors, but they're supposed to be hot in nature. And then a sweet, which is like a banana pepper. I'm going to do 2 of the banana sweet, 1 of each of those, which there's still a lot. I typically only do 1 per cell unless I really want it, because I've noticed that when I do more than 1 per cell, I don't want to eliminate the extras. I'm so bad with thinning, and it's just something that I just have to do, but I just never do. And then, of course, my kids are like, no, they don't like it either. They're like, you animal, they want to live. You're going to water them in. These do not need light according to my instructions to germinate.
For the mid-range, we are going to put this on artificial lighting. You can get lighting at your local Lowe's, Home Depot, certain types of shop lights. Just have to put that information in there so that you can decide if that's an option for you, or you can purchase specific grow lights for your plants. It is not necessary, but since it's the mid-range, I wanted to do something that's going to be elevated in cost that can be more convenient for you than a window, since not everyone has access to enough lighting in a window. So having unnatural lighting, artificial lighting, can help to get your seeds started if they're indoors and you don't have a lot of good lighting. I also have a little timer over here. It's not a timer, it's a temperature gauge. It just lets me know what the humidity is and what the temperature is. I don't actually use it for this type of thing that we're doing. It's not going to be used for this adventure time. This is just showing you that even though you have it in an area where there's not a lot of heat or anything, you can still find good warm areas to get your plant started without having to have a heat mat, but it is not going to be used during this project. Again, I will use the lid and I will provide airflow as necessary.
Is the 24 cell. This is the one that I actually purchased. This is the most expensive system, not the most expensive system out there, but the most expensive one that I have. It comes with its own humidity dome. It comes with its cells. I think you can get a smaller size. I think they have a 12 and a 24. I think if you were to get this, I would get a 12 just because when you have so many, you kind of have to do like seeds with like seeds. For instance, peppers with peppers, tomatoes with tomatoes, and that is a lot to start off. And I say that because when you do different types of seeds in the same tray, unfortunately, they don't have the same growing pattern, and taking off the lid and putting on the lid is kind of tricky when you have different ones growing at different rates. But it comes with the cells, it comes with a wicking mat. Underneath is kind of like a stool. It's a plastic piece that helps to have the seeds sit higher than the water level for the reservoir. And this is separates out. So this just comes out in the tray right here. Now you do have to keep in mind, you may have to replace the pad regularly, and the lid I think sometimes has to be replaced because it is not as clear as when I first purchased this. And it's kind of dingy. It's not as strong plastic, stronger than ones you get in the store, but not as strong as the bottom part. This bottom system is way stronger than the top part. And I kind of wish it had some sort of locking mechanism, because if you're outside, like me, I do some of my seeds outside, especially early on when I started growing. I did it outside, and if it's windy, which it can get windy here quite often, this comes off all the time, and you have to figure out how to secure it.
But again, I am filling up this 24 cell tray with some moist soil, some damp soil. You don't want it to be too drenching wet, just enough that you can squeeze a little ball. It kind of keeps its shape, and not a lot of liquid or moisture comes dripping out. I'm going to go ahead and label my container. I have the Roma tomatoes, the early girl, the Cherokee purple, and the rainbow blend that's going in. Once I get everything filled up with the soil, and I do add the seeds in there and give it a nice spritz before covering it with the lid. Just make sure to read the back of your packages to make sure the instructions you're following that they give you. It's always a good guideline to start off, and then you can tweak it as you go along to see what would be the best option for you in your location, because we are all growing in different environments, different microclimates. For an example, I live in zone 8B. I know gardeners who are down in 7B. It is warm for them right now, more so than it is for us, even though I live in a what would be technically considered a higher, warmer zone or a longer growing season, but yet it's a little bit warmer for them, and they are starting to put things outside that I am not able to do so just yet. My nighttime temperatures are about 38, and it is March 8th or March 9th, so it's still pretty chilly in the morning for us. It is supposed to warm up next week. However, the nighttime temperatures are still supposed to be colder in the 30s, 40s. This is the most expensive system that I have. It has the four different parts, well, five parts technically with the wicking mat. I'm actually going to make this the highest amount that you can do for the seeds. Everything is basically artificial at this point. I have it on a heat mat. I'm not going to have the basin on it at first because it needs to be in direct contact with the heat mat. So I'm going to take that off. The lid will stay on as well. I have artificial lighting. So I have the heat mat, artificial lighting. The seed tray will actually be directly in contact with it. The basin won't be in there. I will keep an eye on when they sprout, because remember, we don't want too much moisture and too much humidity. Eventually that lid will come off. Ah, look at this pop. She's crazy. It's time for me to go. She wants to play and she's demanding attention. All right. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye, guys.